Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is day 4, Vocal Powerhouse Accelerator, B Bulletproof edition. Every time I say that, I feel like what's his name from Looney Tunes? Sam, the guy with the red beard and the hat who's like, I don't know.
Sam.
Thank you,
Yosemite.
Yosemite Sam. Thank you. Yosemite Sam. Yes. I feel like Yosemite Sam. All right. So we're gonna get started today. We got a lot of good stuff to go through. First of all, how you guys feeling? We're like past the halfway mark here of the accelerator workshop. Woohoo!
I
Yeah.
feel good. Dun, 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 dun. You knew that I would,
Exactly.
with your
Especially
lessons here.
because you got some good distinctions yesterday, Elliot. Nice, nice. Okay, I'm glad you guys are feeling good. And how great was yesterday? Oh my God, how great was it hearing from Joseph? He's so inspiring. I hope some of you got to connect with him outside the meeting on Facebook. He's just a wealth of experience, and just his growth, his transformation has just been incredible. So I hope you guys enjoyed that and that you get to connect with Joseph. Question: who practiced sirening yesterday? Who practiced your opposition tools and your siren? Let me see in the chat. Celebrate. Who did you practice? Oh, I see Rachel did it. Yay! Who did it? Nuri, Tony. Yes, Aiden, Jasper, Elliot, Stephanie, Crystal, Marie, Thomas. Yes, yes, Kylie. Okay, good. Okay, now who did both the sirening and practice your opposition tools and did their thought exercise? Did you get a glimpse into why you sing the way you do? Who did it? Who did them both? Put it in the chat, both. Or if you just did the thought exercise, put TE. I want to know who did it. Who did it? Who did your thought exercise? And who practiced your technique? Yes, yes, yes. Good. Stephanie, Nancy, Tana, Carl, nice. Way to go. Okay. Guys, get in there. Do the thought exercises. Okay. The thought exercises help you build a bridge between how you're learning to get present and notice your own thoughts in the meditation to understanding and taking the subconscious into the conscious mind and understanding why you sing the way you do. So was anybody surprised in what actually came up in getting a glimpse of why you sing the way you do? Put in the chat. Anybody get kind of a glimpse and go, wow, I didn't realize that was in there. Did anybody have that experience? Let me know. Yeah, you getting a sense of it? Yeah, Cody, eye-opening? Yeah, it can really be. It really can be. You guys, the thought exercises are essential. Don't skip them. Do them, okay? Now, celebrate in the chat. Who has done their meditation today? Who did your meditation today? Put in the chat. Yes, Nunzio did. Marie did. Yes. Diane, Cody, good. Curious, who has done their meditation all 4 days since we started and gave it on Monday? Who's done it 4 days? Put 4 in the chat. Let me see. Who did 4? Own it. Celebrate yourself for showing up and being accountable to everything you want. Yes, Crystal, Tom, Jasper, Rachel, Levette, Tony, Tana. Okay. Siri, did you guys see Siri's posts in the group, in the Pro Singer group yesterday? Like, this is why we do this. This is why we do this. Okay, good. You guys, this is really good. Keep your meditation going daily. Do it daily. Okay, so we have a lot to get to today. So just a reminder of some housekeeping. Save your questions. And I realized yesterday, guys, that I didn't do Q&A at the end of the session. So what I'm going to do is, because I recognize not just that I didn't get to it yesterday, but that a lot of you have questions. Some of them you're posting in the Facebook group or whatever. I'm going to do a special bonus session on Saturday morning, which is going to be a bonus Q&A session, which is going to be, it's going to be a little early in the morning because I have like mom stuff I have to do later in the day. So it's going to be 8 a.m. Pacific, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 a.m. Eastern. Is that right? 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11. 3 hours? Yeah. You guys will do the math, but we'll post it. So we're going to do a bonus Q&A session. So it's just going to be like all Q&A. And I've been making kind of some notes on some of the common questions that you guys are asking, but we'll also post something on Friday in the group that's like, put your questions here that you want me to answer. So save your questions and hopefully I'll get them today. It's just like, I end up going so long, guys, because like it's hard for me to talk short about this stuff because like it's like I get so passionate about it that I end up going really long. And so I feel bad. I don't want to keep you long. So either way, we will absolutely have a full Q&A session on Saturday, bonus, no matter what. A reminder, this is the safe space. Those who share, those who sing, we encourage bravery, we encourage vulnerability. We have no tolerance, zero tolerance policy for any judgment, criticism, meanness in the chat, okay? If you're gonna get up and sing, make sure you guys understand how to turn your original sound on. There's been a lot of confusion around this, and we tried our best to help you guys understand how to do it. It's actually really simple when you know how to do it, but if you wanna get up and sing, you need to have not just enabled original sound, but have it actually turned on in the meeting. Okay, the scholarship. So if you guys have been with us every day of the workshop so far, so yesterday I told you about the intensive training program, and that our normal price for the intensive program is $9K. For you guys in the workshop, I'm giving you a big discount. I'm taking $2,000 off the program. So for you guys, it's $7K, but we're doing a little scholarship competition. If you've been with us every single day in the workshop so far, and you haven't missed a single day, and by the way, we can track this, so we know who you are. You're eligible to enter our big scholarship contest to win $6,000 scholarship for the intensive program, which brings the tuition all the way down from 7K to 1K. So you're getting a $9,000 program for 1K. Every single one of you can get it for 7K, but one of you who wins the contest is going to get a $6,000 scholarship for the training program. It's huge. So if you want to be considered for this scholarship, you have to do two simple things tonight, because I'm going to announce it tomorrow. Okay. The first thing you have to do, and I'm going to put all this in the chat for you, so you can write it down, but I'm also going to put it in the chat. First thing you have to do is record a short selfie video speaking to the following: why doing the intensive is a must for you, what it means to you, why you should be the one to receive the opportunity of this scholarship. Okay, so a short selfie video speaking to what doing the intensive means to you, why you want it, why you should be the one to receive the opportunity to get it, why it's a must. The second thing is you're then going to send an email of your selfie video and at least one link to yourself performing live or to your online recordings, a link to where we can hear you. So it can be a link to a YouTube video, it can be a link to your recordings on Spotify, something like that, okay? But it needs to be something that I don't have to sign in to get it. So if you guys are doing like Star Maker karaoke or those things, don't send me those links because I'm not a member, I can't access them, okay? So it needs to be a public link. If you have commercially released records on iTunes or Spotify or anything like that, you can send me that link. If you just want to upload a video that you have to a Google shared file and send me the link, you can do that, okay? So I'm putting all this into the chat so that you can have it. Whoops, wait, where we go? Everyone in meeting. Okay, so this is what you have to send me, and you have to do it tonight, okay? And you're going to send it to admin@ardenkaywinvogelstudio.com, and you must submit it by midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. Okay. If we get your submission tomorrow morning, too late, because we're making these decisions tomorrow. Okay. So send it to me tonight and then be here live tomorrow, because I'll announce the winner in our live session at the end of the session tomorrow. Okay. Again, you'll only be considered if you've been to every live session this week and if you've emailed me the selfie video and the performance link. Okay. So you have all that in the chat. Copy it from the chat right now, because I am not posting this anywhere else. I am not posting this in the Facebook group. This is for those of you who care enough to be here, and you're here now and you've been here every single day. Okay. Cool. Let's get to work. Enough housekeeping. So what we're talking about today is how we fast track process to performance. I've given you a ton of process these last few days. for mindset, for your skill set, meaning your technique, for your breath support, for your resonance, all of these things, for your opposition, right? And so tools so that you get to learn how to be in the moment with your energy, with yourself, get out of your own way to do that, and bring it like you have never brought it before, no matter what the circumstances are. No matter if it's in class like this, if it's in an audition, if it's in your worship group, if it's in a big show, okay? That's what it really means to be a bulletproof singer, is that you can bring it anywhere, anyone, anytime, and you know how to get out of your own way to do that. And the thing that catalyzes your technique, the thing that connects you to your voice, your unique sound, the thing that allows you to stand out from the competition and fast tracks you to tap into that potential so that you can go out there and perform and record and win auditions and make income doing what you love, all the things that you want to do, is what I call mindful integration. And so this is where you learn how to get out of your own way on stage, get out of your head, trust your technique, trust your body, and have the tools that can get you there every single time. So the first concept that I want you guys to get for mindful integration is to ask more powerful questions. So we've got to create some space here for the body to integrate what's possible. And right now, the majority of you sing from a very narrow, contracted, energetic space that has been created from asking some very disempowering questions. So what are examples of disempowering questions? What if I don't sound good? Why would anybody pay me that much to sing? That was one of Amy DeLuca, who you're going to hear from later on today. That was one of Amy's questions that she used to have. Why would somebody pay me that much to sing? Who, by the way, Amy now makes the same amount per month that she did at her corporate job because she learned how to ask a better question. What if I botch the high note? What if I botch the low note? What if I don't make it to the end of the phrase? What if I put myself out there vulnerably and I'm judged? Katerina, where's Katerina Pete? That's for you. What if I invest in a producer or in training or in traveling to an audition? What if I invest and it doesn't work out? How can I compete with all these other singers who are younger than me, prettier than me, and more experienced than me? So disempowering, you guys. And as we said in the first session, energy flows where attention goes. And since we know that singing is an energy game, sound is just a form of energy, then in asking these kinds of questions, you are feeding the contracted energetic state that sabotages the sound and the outcome that you really want. Get this, okay? Learn to ask better questions that create an emotional state, an emotional home, and the response in your body that allows your best technique, your best sound, and your best performance to come forth. So you've over the last 3 days, you've heard me ask many better questions when I was coaching a lot of our guinea pigs this week. So examples of more powerful questions. How would I do this if I wasn't afraid? How would I do this if I didn't give a shit? How would I do this if there's no such thing as fail? How would I do this if I get to be perfectly imperfect? What if I do succeed? What if I get on stage and knock it out of the park? You guys are so busy what ifing the worst case scenario. And so then you create it because that's what you're focusing on. Learn to what if more powerfully. Because when you do, what if I do succeed? You know, your brain automatically goes to, well, what if I suck? What if I don't succeed? What if I'm judged? And you leave it there. You don't come back around to, well, but what if I do? What if I do succeed? What if I am exactly where I'm supposed to be? Right? And so now there's space for possibility. And that space for possibility, your body is going to respond to. And so the next thing once we've created some space, right? The next thing that kind of comes in and creeps in to kind of get in the way of mindful integration are your excuses. So we've got to concept number 2, annihilate your excuses. So let's get a little clarity. What are the excuses that keep you playing small? What are the things that you use to justify your circumstance, why you are where you are with your singing? We've got to identify them. So here are some of the top excuses that I hear all the time. I don't have enough time. My job, my kids, my health issues. I don't have enough time. Here's another one I hear all the time. I don't have enough money. Do you guys know Shania Twain's story? I love to tell her story when we talk about I don't have enough money. Shania Twain, at like 17 years old, 18 years old, lost both her parents. And she had, I don't know, 2, I think, younger siblings that she was made legal guardian of. And she was working 12 different jobs, taking care of her younger siblings. She'd lost her parents. At one point, she was living out of her car. You heard Joseph's story, living out of his car, practicing in the college that he was going to, asking them if he could just use rooms. Okay, like, I don't have enough money. How many of you use that excuse? What if Joseph has used that excuse? What if Shania Twain had used that excuse? Here's another one I hear. I'm too old. I'm too old. How many of you use that as an excuse? And there are many, many more excuses. So what are your excuses? What is the story that you tell yourself to justify why you are where you are? Put it in the chat right now. Come on, guys. This is the safe space. Type it into the chat. Out yourself. Get this stuff out of the spin of your mind and put it out there where you can see it in front of trusted fellows. So, what is the story that you are telling yourself? Nunzio, I'm cursed. Coral. Yeah, everything that I said. Family stuff, Alex says. Yeah, Nancy. Oh, I'm too old, says, yeah, Linda. Jesper, that I was never afraid that I was never good enough. Yep. Like Stephanie, I'm not as talented as everybody else. Yep. Spending large amount of money scares me at this age. That's just a story. Yep. I have, my injury, my traumatic brain injury. Elliot, you got up yesterday. I had no idea. I wouldn't have even known. It's your excuse, right? Too much stress, too much this, too much that. Okay. And so this is the safe space, you guys. Really look and get rigorously honest with yourself and look at your excuses. Because for mindful integration to work, we have to allow ourselves to truly see what is. And to allow ourselves to see with compassion, right? This is not to blame and shame ourselves. This is just to allow ourselves to get data. I say to my singers all the time, let's go to the data, not the drama. So let's look at the data. What are the ways in which we have been holding ourselves and our potential back? So what are your excuses? And you guys are so brave. You're putting them all in there. Nancy says, too little time. Rachel says, I'm not good enough. Kylie, my medical issues. Lavette, time. Yeah. I'm too old. I saw that several times. I'm too old could have been a big one for Amy DeLuca, one of our intensive grads who you're going to meet later in the session. There is no way that she would have gone from a corporate job to making a full-time living as a singer the way she is now if she did not have a really powerful reframe for I'm too old. Because otherwise, at her age, that excuse could have stopped her. And then she would have felt completely justified. And she would have missed out on everything that she's doing now. So we need to reframe our excuses. And the way we do that is by choosing more powerful beliefs. So that's concept number 3. Choose your global beliefs. So guys, a lot of us up till now, until we realize that we get to choose our beliefs, a lot of us have just been running on autopilot with beliefs that were given to us by our parents, our family, our society, our religion, our social circles, our education. And in my 20 years of saving singers' voices and careers, I have found that there are really 4 global beliefs that every single one of you, every singer must own to go from good to great, to be bulletproof, to stand out from the competition and withstand the inevitable ups and downs that this creative journey is all about, so that you don't give up before you succeed. So here are these 4 global beliefs. Number 1, singing is what I do. It is not who I am. And that's a really hard one for a lot of people to wrap their brain around. Well, no, it's who I am. It's me. It's my identity. It's who I am. It's what you do. It is not who you are. Because it helps you in adopting this global belief. Singing is what I do. It's not who I am. Then you get to detach your worth from your voice and your singing. Because as long as singing is who you are, if you are not singing the way you want, if you're not succeeding the way you want with your voice in your career, now all of a sudden you are wrong. You are bad. You are worthless, because it's who you are. You got to detach your worth from your voice and your singing. It is what you do. You are enough, regardless of if you are singing or not singing, whether I sing well or don't sing well. That singing is what I do. It's not who I am. You have worth, you have value merely because you were born on this planet. But if you attach your worth and to your singing and who you are, then now there's a lot of pressure to not fail at that. Because if you fail at that, now you've failed at being. And nobody wants to fail and feel like a failure, like they're worthless, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's all that pressure to not fail at that, because singing is attached to your worth, attached to who you are, that causes you guys to do all the things that actually makes the sound not what you want, and that causes you to botch the audition, and that causes you to not put yourself out there, and actually causes you to stay small and play small, because the pressure is way too much. Okay, so learn to detach your worth from your voice and your singing. Singing is what I do. It is not who I am. Second global belief that I want you guys to get: there is no failure, only opportunity. Guys, if I am not failing, I am not learning. And if I am not learning, how am I going to succeed? How am I going to get better at what I'm doing? How am I going to move the needle? Okay, too many of you make failure a bad thing. Learn to embrace the times that you screw up, the times that you sing the note wrong, the times that you don't get what you want, okay? There is no failure, only opportunity. There's a story I'd love to tell, which I heard, I read, there was an old interview about like 100 years ago. It was Thomas Edison was being interviewed, you know, Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb. And the journalist says to Thomas Edison, my goodness, you made 99 prototypes that failed. How did you go through all that failure and keep going to build the light bulb? And Thomas Edison goes, that wasn't 99 failures. That was 99 ways I learned not to build a light bulb. And so he keeps going, because he understands that every time he learns something that gets him closer to what he wants. There is no failure, only opportunity. If you guys are too afraid to fail, you will always play it safe in your body, in your mind, and that is not how you get a performance that blows us away. Everything you want, guys, is just on the other side of your comfort zone. So be willing to fail. Welcome failure. It is your best friend. I can't tell you how many times, like Siri and Rachel and Amy and those who've been through the program who are here can tell you how many times do I say to you guys, I dare you to screw it up. I dare you to suck. I dare you. And I literally invite you to make a bad sound. Okay, welcome that. That is how we learn. Your challenges, your failures. It's the resistance to that that gets you in trouble. Your challenges, your perceived failures, that's life tapping you on the shoulder and going, hey, I know you want to quit your day job and be a full-time performer. I know you want to get on big stages. I know you want to make big records. I know you want to, whatever the big goal is. It's life tapping you on the shoulder saying, I know you want to be up to big things, but you got to fix this first. You got to fix this thing first for that to happen. And so the faster you fail, the faster you get that data, and the faster you can fix that thing and move forward to what you want to be. The faster you fail, the better. So welcome failure. It's gratitude for your challenges. It's that gratitude for, oh my gosh, this is the universe showing you exactly what you get to up level to have what you want. That's what your challenges are there for. So take inspired risks and go for it. Because guess what? You're going to be uncomfortable either way. Either way, you're either going to be uncomfortable playing small, staying stuck, watching everybody else on that stage except for you, or you're going to be uncomfortable taking risks and failing forward. Most of us don't take risks because we don't want to be uncomfortable. But guess what? You're already uncomfortable because you're sitting on your talent. So if you're going to be uncomfortable, either way, you might as well be uncomfortable getting what you want. Okay? So there is no failure, only opportunity. Now, the third global belief I hinted at a little bit, which is go to the data, not the drama. So your mind, all of us, our mind, it wants to create drama. And that takes up space and energetic bandwidth. What do I mean by drama? I mean, you go to the audition, you don't sing the way you want to, and instead of just looking at the data, which would be, well, okay, maybe I didn't get enough sleep that last night. Maybe I have, not quite gotten to the place with my technique that I want to yet, and I got some more conditioning to do. Maybe the training that I've gotten isn't really serving me anymore. And instead of making yourself bad or wrong or making that mean, something, you just get to look at what is. But that's not what most of you do. You don't stop there. You go to the drama, which is, I'm never good enough. My mom was right. I can never going to make a career at this. I'm not good enough. I'm never going to be able to do it. I'm going to end up being the old lady all by myself with my cats at 70 years old and failed at my dream. And I decided to go after my dream. So I didn't get married and I didn't have kids. And now I'm 75 and I don't have the kids and I don't have the dream. You see? Drama. Okay. The mind wants to create drama, and that takes up space. So it's about learning to see what is without assigning meaning to it. Data, not drama. So you botched the audition? That's data. Look at the data. Ask yourself, what are 4 things that I did well? What's one thing that I want to optimize next time? Instead of going to the drama and making the botched audition mean something intrinsic about you, your worth, your future, that shuts you down. And then you're not empowered to take the next indicated step that will get you closer on the path to your target. So go to the data, not the drama. And then the last global belief that I think is essential is I get to take up time and space. Guys, so many of you are so used to twisting yourself into pretzels and everything just to be what you think everybody wants, just to please what you think the audition wants, to please what you think the producer wants, the audience wants. No. I get to take up time and space, which means there is room for me to be. When I go on stage, when I go into an audition, I'll tell you the 3 things that go through my head. This is my house. This is my stage. This is my time. I get to take up time and space. Guys, the world has a Beyonce. It has a Pavarotti. What they don't have is you. So this is my house. This is my stage. I get to take up time and space so that the world gets me. Okay? So these global beliefs, they create energetic space where mind and body can integrate and work together for everything that you want to create, both on stage and off, because you've empowered your awareness now to run the show. instead of the stinking thinking and the ego mind and the inner critic and the fear, which shuts down your energy, cuts off the energy, and keeps you playing small. So I'm going to give you a fun little tool that I love to use that helps you to incorporate these ideas. And it's what I call energy exploration cards. And we're going to use some of them right now. And I'm also going to give them to you later on for your homework, so you'll be able to use them. But we're going to use some of them right now for some live coaching. So first, who did last night's homework, understanding why you sing the way you do? If you have done last night's homework, of those of you who did it, who has a verse or a chorus of a song that they would like to work on? Do not volunteer if you have not done last night's thought exercise yet. Okay, so you can use the raise hand function. If you've done last night's homework and you have a verse or a chorus of song that you'd like to do some live coaching on, raise your hand, use the raise hand function. It's down on the bottom under reactions. Okay, let me go over there so I can see who's raising their hand. Hang on, guys. Okay. All right. So first hand I saw was Crystal. Go ahead, Crystal, and unmute and come on camera. Okay. Hello, hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Oops, wait,
Okay.
hold on. I need to get my screen. I went to the wrong place on my screen. Okay. Good, good, good. All right. So what would you, do you have like a verse or a chorus of something?
So there's a chorus that, or it's not even a chorus, it's a bridge to a song.
Okay.
Have you heard Promises by Maverick City?
No, but doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay, so stand up.
Oh. I'll back up.
Yeah,
Oh,
just tilt your
I
screen.
can raise
So
my desk up.
yeah. Oh, that's a great thing. Yes. And tilt your screen a little so we can make sure we see your face.
Oops.
That's so cool.
One of those like little standing desk things.
Awesome. That's perfect.
I don't know
Okay.
how high it goes, but
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Take like a step back so I can see it, just a teensy bit more of you. Perfect. Okay. So let's just, let's just see where we are with it. Dive in. I'm going to invite you to be willing to make a bad sound, just like we were talking about.
I know I
Okay?
will, because I still have a little bit of a cough that
No
won't
worries.
go
Just-
away after
just-
a month.
Just meet your body where it is, okay? And
Okay.
let's do just the bridge that you were talking about.
Okay, so it ends up building. Should I just go into the part that I don't usually hit super well?
No, like do the bridge. Get yourself into it.
Okay, because yeah, it repeats like a phrase or a section over and over. Okay.
Okay.
I put my faith in Jesus, my anchor to the ground. He's my hope and firm foundation. He'll never let me down. Yes, I put my faith in Jesus. He's my anchor to the ground. He's my hope and firm foundation. He'll never let me down. Oh, I put my faith in Jesus. He's my anchor to the ground. He's my hope and firm foundation. He'll never let me down. And then it goes into the chorus.
Good. All right, give Crystal a hand. All right. So, question. When you did your thought exercise last night, what would you say is one big thing that you discovered about why you sing the way that you do?
Well, so my overarching why is kind of mixed, because I feel like I have the foundation of like wanting to sing for Jesus, but I've been told lots of things that are like, I mean, I've had teachers flat out tell me you're not going to get it, so don't try, and so I think that's kind of been blending in,
Okay, so there's like the limiting belief which is fighting with your truth. So your truth, the truth of your awareness, is what? That I sing because it's to speak to your connection with your faith and everything. Like,
I mean, ultimately, yeah, and I feel like singing, I could sing better than I can talk. You know, like I can sing my emotions more than I can talk them out.
okay.
But I mean, I do
Okay,
talk them
so
out.
so finish the sentence. So I sing because it helps me to express my true emotions, or it helps me to get what's inside out. Tell me, you fill in the blank. What's true for you?
Yeah, it's the way that I feel I can truly be seen, because
Okay.
it takes like everything inside of me, and there's less hindrance, even though I do have hindrance, but there's less hindrance when I sing than when I talk, because I overthink everything.
Okay. So, in the moment that you were singing just now, tell me about the overthinking. What was the spin in the story that was going on in your mind?
When I started, well, I can feel myself shaking.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh no, everyone's listening. What if I don't hit this last part that comes up? And then once the second time came around, I'm like, maybe I should go one more. Like, even when I've led this song, I'm like, maybe I should go one more time just to give myself enough courage to belt that last bit.
Okay.
And there's been times where it just cracks, or I
Yep.
can't reach it. And I'm like, oh, okay,
Okay.
well, we'll just go into the chorus.
Okay. So here's what's going on, right? Crystal, in her truth, she's in it's all about the present of allowing the emotion that's within her to be seen and heard and felt in that present moment. That's what you love about singing, and that's why you sing. But in the moment that you're actually singing, that's actually not what you're connected to at all. Well, you're not in the present moment. You guys remember how on the first day we talked about the mind is very rarely in the present moment? It's either shaming yourself about the past when it went wrong, or all the things that you're not good enough. Like you were just saying, that all the teachers who told you that you couldn't do it and that you couldn't, right? So there's that going on. Or mind is going to the future tripping in worry about what's to come. Like you just explained, am I going to hit the note? Am I going to be judged? Am I going to be. And so Crystal's brain, just like the majority of us, is like in either of these two places, and it's not in the moment doing the thing and having the experience that she really is aligned with, which is to allow the truth of what's in you to come forward. Like, honestly, right? So it's a perfect example of the what ifs, like we were just talking about. What if I this? What if I that? What if I, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna pull out my little energy exploration cards here. And I am gonna, let's see, and what's a good one for you? Let's see.
You're making me nervous.
Ooh, I know. I have a good one for you. I have a good one for you. I have two good ones for you. This is what I'm going to start with. Okay. Instead of what if I don't get it right? What if it sounds bad? What if I don't hit the note? To me, Crystal, those are all versions of what if it's not perfect? Do you align with perfectionism at all?
Yeah.
Oh, good. So, well, from one recovering perfectionist to another, welcome. Okay. So, first of all, how many of you in the chat perfectionist? How many of you feel like perfectionism is definitely something that you notice about yourself? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Are you seeing the chat, Crystal? Okay. So, you're not alone in this. Okay. So, it's that ultimate, if I fail, then I will be worthless, because that's the belief that was given to you by those old teachers, that you're not good enough. And so monkey mind, ego mind, inner critic mind has come to the conclusion that the way that you become worthy and the way that you succeed is if you're perfect. And it's just a story. It's just a story that your ego mind has concocted to try to prevent you from failing. But what it does is it has created an impossible situation, because perfect doesn't exist. There is no such thing as perfect. You have an idea of what you think is perfect, because to you, if you meet that, then everybody else is going to see you as perfect, and then you're going to succeed and you won't be judged and all that. But guess what? What you think is perfect, because there is no such thing as perfect, is different for every single person sitting in this Zoom, for every single person out there watching, and you cannot be all of that. You can't be everything to everyone. So now with the perfectionism, what we have done is we have set a bar, we have set a standard that we can never meet, that we will never meet, that is impossible to meet. And that's why we feel so insecure, because we are trying to control something that is literally impossible to control, which is the perfection. We can't. It doesn't exist.
So we need
And so
grace
that's
for
why-
ourselves.
What?
So we need to have grace for ourselves.
Yeah, you could start there. It's a good
Yeah.
place to start. Okay. So this idea of I get to be perfectly imperfect. So I'm curious. How would you sing this if you get to be perfectly imperfect? Don't tell me, just do it. How would you sing this if you get to be perfectly imperfect?
Okay.
Just do it. Go for it. Okay, wait, what was that
You're
thought?
like,
Wait. What was that thought? What was that thought?
It was, what if it doesn't sound pretty? What if it just sounds weird or off, or I don't know.
And what do you know? What do you know about perceived failure, perceived challenge?
That it jacks up everything. It just sabotages the whole thing.
Okay, so it's the fear that sabotages it. The actual challenge is actually a gift, because it's going to give you an experience you've never had before, so you can get some data. So what if you do fall on your face? What if it does suck?
And then all the people in this meeting know it.
Okay. But is it really about all the people in the meeting?
No.
What's it really about?
That's my excuse. That's my, that feels better to say that.
Right. So you are so brave. You are so vulnerable right now, and it's so beautiful. So what's it really about? Is it really about them judging you?
No, because I've tied my value to my voice. And so when it doesn't sound right, then I'm not right in some way.
Right.
Yeah.
So what if the idea of being perfectly imperfect is that your brain has decided that it needs to be perfect? So I'm going to give you something to be perfect at, Crystal. You have to be imperfect. I want you to be perfect at being imperfect. If you're going to be perfect at something, let's be perfect at being imperfect. So I'm going to invite you into a curiosity, an experiment of what it could be like, what it could feel like. Notice I'm not saying what it could sound like. It's not what I'm talking about. What it could feel like, what an experience could be like. If you opened your mouth, tapped into the technique stuff that we've been talking about in however much you've embodied it thus far. It doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, perfectly imperfect. We're just experimenting. Thomas Edison, 99 ways not to build a light bulb. So let's see if we can figure out 99 ways not to sing this song, okay?
Okay.
Okay, go for it.
I put my faith in Jesus, my anchor to the ground. He's my hope and firm foundation. He'll never let me down. Yes, I put my faith in Jesus. He's my anchor to the ground. He's my hope and firm foundation. He'll never let me down.
Woo!
That was crazy. Oh, dang.
So I want to point something out here, guys. Did I do 1 ounce of technique with her? Not a single ounce of technique. We talked about it yesterday. We talked about it on Tuesday. It's in there. But as long as she stays up here in the spin of her fear-based, all this thinking, then it's not free. It's not free to come out. So all you did here, Crystal, is give yourself permission. Permission to be, to just be. What was that like for you? What was the experience? What did you notice?
It was like freeing. I actually noticed less tension. It was almost like my body was like, we're just gonna get rid of this. And I wasn't like trying, because like in the meditation and stuff, I'm like, okay, I'm being mindful, of like releasing the tension. And this wasn't like me trying to release it, it just did.
Yep. You guys, let versus do. Remember we talked about that when it came to the breath. Let the breath come in, right? Same thing applies here. What you did is you just zoomed out and you just applied that concept without even realizing it to the entire experience. You let your energy show up for you. You let yourself trust your body, trust the new technique that you've learned. You let yourself align with everything that you are instead of do to try to be perfect and be this impossible standard that's impossible to meet, which then makes you nervous because inherently you know you can't meet it. And it's this constant striving, pushing, striving, proving, right? So you guys, this was like an insane night and day, Crystal. Like I really hope you go back and you watch the recording, because this is a perfect example of how technique does not exist in a vacuum. Period. It has to be linked. We have to have mindful integration. And so this idea of this little energy exploration card of I get to be perfectly imperfect helped you to mindfully integrate everything that we were talking about so that your technique, your energy, everything showed up in that moment in a way that allowed you to feel so free and be way more powerful than anything that you could have, quote, tried to do. Okay? Awesome. That was so amazing. Anything else that you want to say about like what you noticed?
What's interesting is like leading up to that, like I mean, I do have like I back in 2016 I thought I had a stroke and I might have my brain shut off and all this stuff, but like ever since I've not been the same. Like my vocal cords sometimes get like half paralyzed and like I get tremoring and stuff, and stress will exasperate it. And so like leading up to this, when you called on me, I was like, again, I want to do it and then I don't. And then I'm like, oh, my hands are starting to shake. And then it was like, I don't know, the permission to just let go, and let my body do what it's gonna do. And it was like the shaking stopped. So it really was just the like fear and anxiety, like that was starting that whole,
Yep.
I guess, like routine in my nerves.
Right.
That
And I
just
know like
released.
you've shared with me in just over email and stuff like that, like what your story has been. And I guarantee you that 90% of what you experience is that sympathetic nervous system response to the trauma of what you've been through in the moment that it counts with your voice. And what you now have data, right, guys? Data, not drama. What you now have data of, Crystal, like hard data, is that you have everything you need to be able to make the sound you want. We just got some work to do to uncover, discover, discard, peel away so that it comes out. And that's exactly what you did in that moment. Bravo. So well done. Okay. So this is what I want to do, guys. I want to, because I see a bunch of you, want to do some life coaching. And I'm happy to come back to it and spend a little more time towards the end of the session. But I want to be able to get into some of this other stuff so that we don't like go so far over, you know what I'm saying, like we did yesterday. So thank you to Crystal. Give her a huge round of props. And by the way, Crystal, can you also really celebrate what happened when you went beyond your comfort zone? Right? You were saying, well, I don't know if I want to volunteer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Celebrate that you were scared and you did it anyway. That you were uncomfortable and you did it anyway. And the gift in that, in going beyond your comfort zone, what you got because you did that. So really celebrate that. Okay, so I have another really special singer here to talk with you guys today because she really knows what it's like to be stuck playing small and holding herself back in her voice and in her singing journey. She has so much gold to share about what's allowed her to have amazing breakthroughs, to free her voice and her mindset and really claim what's possible. And she's one of my very favorite people on the planet. And she's an intensive program grad who went from a corporate job to singing full time in 6 months. She is a mom and a grandma. And when you see her, you're going to be like, what? So if you don't think your goals are possible, if you think you're too old, just listen to Amy, okay? Please welcome one of our intensive grads, Amy DeLuca. Yay! Hello.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm awesome. Oh my
I'm
goodness.
so glad that you're here.
Me too. Hi,
So
everybody.
so let's start, if you would start by sharing with everybody what was going on with your voice and your singing before doing all this work, and like how you were feeling.
Oh, well, I was definitely at a standstill in my career. I maybe did a gig here and there with an acoustic duo that I was involved in. And prior to speaking with Arden initially, I was collecting unemployment from being let go from a corporate job, my last, I'll say, corporate job, but I didn't know that at the time. So I was really feeling lost and I didn't have a direction. I knew somewhat of what I wanted to come true for my singing and my career, but I had no idea how to get there. And when I came across Arden, her ad on Instagram, it was like ding, 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 ding. I don't know why, but I feel like I am being led to reach out to this woman, and I did.
And so I'm
And
curious, what made you take the leap into the program?
I honestly felt like, besides knowing that it was a must for me, it was
Well, wait,
literally
can you speak to that? Why was it a must for you?
because I knew that if I didn't, I would be exactly where I am today, where I was over a year ago. Not knowing what to do, depression started to set in, feeling hopeless, feeling helpless, feeling like, God, you gave me this gift, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what you want me to do. So I'm stuck and
Mm-hmm.
I was done being stuck.
Mm.
And I knew that it was the best decision of my life.
Well, I mean, but let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah,
And it's something that I think a lot of people have anxiety about, which is, you were at a stage in your life, right? This anxiety about age. Like, am I
yeah,
just kidding myself at this age to go for it? Now, I mean, Amy didn't look like a grandma, but Amy's a grandma, okay? So, like, I would love for you to speak to the I'm too old mind weed and why it was just so essential for you to commit to your dream, your vision for your singing at this stage in your life.
yeah. That was a big thing. Looking at the stars on TV and the young, fit, little cute teeny bopper looking girls, and I'm thinking that's not me. I'm a mature woman, and also hearing from fellow musicians, oh, well, you're considered a mature vocalist, which was like, ooh, that hurts. Well, what does that have to do with anything? but but at the time, it really was something that haunted me. Like, okay, well, I'm 51. I'll tell you that's my age. Oh, thank you for the compliment about my hair. um, sorry, Arden. I lost track. I was looking at the
No,
feed.
that's okay. You were saying like you were 51 and you were looking at, where you were.
Yes, and I needed to change my mindset about that because looking at the evidence of other people who've made it that are far older than me, that age is really just what it is. It's a number and it's never too late. And I know that I was given gifts to use to the fullest. And I wasn't going to let this lie or allow this lie to hinder me from taking the steps I know I needed to take to have a breakthrough.
Hmm. Hmm. I mean, can you imagine what would have happened if you had let that excuse run you? I mean, can you celebrate some of the things that you're doing now and some of the big changes and the transformations that you've experienced in your voice, in your career that wouldn't would be totally not even there had you let that excuse run you?
So true. Well, first of all, the technique and mindset that you teach has been life changing. I didn't realize how hard I was working with the previous, I'll say, technique that I learned. Not anything against my previous vocal coaches; they taught me what they knew, but I didn't realize how hard I was working and how much tension I was holding in my jaw, in my tongue, in my neck, in my upper body, even my butt. Like I would feel like I would have to clench to get certain notes out. And I would even have to like Arden, you remember, I would like arch back a little bit
Yeah,
and Arden's like, why are you doing I'm like, but that's
yeah.
what I was taught to get the notes out, to like force it out instead of allowing my body to do what it's meant to do. It's made to do.
Mhm.
And yeah,
No, keep going. I just had to cough.
that's okay. And to address the things that I never thought I would be doing but am doing now. Um, well, I'm singing full time. Hallelujah.
Right? You didn't have to go back. That was a big thing for Amy was like, okay, I have unemployment for a little while. It's going to end on this date. I do not want to have to tuck tail and go back into the corporate world.
Yeah,
I think that was a big thing that drove you.
it was. And also you, Arden.
Oh, okay.
You it was more I was at a point with Arden and where I was in my career, I was at like a breaking point. And just over right at that point of, okay, I just need to take this step and then it'll be a ripple effect. And what I mean by that is choosing and deciding I'm doing this full time and I'm going to do whatever I have to do. And I needed Arden to light an inferno under my rear because because I was terrified, absolutely terrified. But once I made that decision, I booked 6 shows in 3 days, and it was a ripple. It just became it was a momentum I started to build, one after the next, after the next, after the next, and now I can so proudly say that I have over 120 shows booked this year. I'm booked all the way through December.
Mhm.
And not just that, but opportunities that I never thought would happen. Arden, I haven't even told you this yet, but I'm a worship leader. That's like my heart, So, Crystal, I love you and like I totally get you. And you're like one of my girls. So, um, I am actually going to be at a worship convention in Minnesota for 4 days where I'm leading worship
That's awesome.
I mean, it's like
Thousands of people. Yeah.
yes, like, and it's like a dream come true. And also, bigger opportunities are opening up, higher paying gigs are opening up for me, things that I never thought I would be able to do. And doing it solo, that was another big thing for me. I thought, oh, I always had to have an accompanist, whether it be a pianist or a guitarist or a band. Because I'm like, I can't do it alone. I don't know how to play an instrument except the trombone, but I can't sing and play the trombone at the
And
same
and
time.
I'm listening to Amy and I'm going limiting belief.
Yeah,
Excuse, limiting belief. Does Whitney Houston play an instrument? No. Does Whitney Houston even write her songs? No. Wrote her songs,
the truth.
right? But you guys,
Yeah.
we get scared that we're gonna fail, or we're scared we're not good enough, and so we take all of our quote circumstance and we make it into an excuse. And now, in Amy's case, she had me and she had her mindset coach from the program, Judy, and she had the
Yeah.
others in the community going, Amy, that's bullshit. Excuse, limiting belief, excuse. And she had us there to reframe all that. But the thing that to me, like I hear more than anything is how much you got at that critical juncture, that if you kept doing things the same way, you were just going to keep getting the same results. And
Yep.
that time and again, that has been the thing that has driven you beyond the comfort zone to grow, to expand. Were there other things that you think also allowed that? Like,
Besides the momentum, are you saying?
I mean, just besides being willing to go beyond a comfort
Oh,
zone.
well, definitely having the mindset of, you know what? If I fail, I fail. I'm just going to learn from it.
You guys
So
see
I'm
that?
not going to die. I'm not going to die. No one, you know, I'm not going to crawl in a hole and then never come back out. And I have no control over what people think and say and do, except for me. So if some person I call and say, want to book a show thinks I'm a moron, let
Right.
them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing what I got to do. You don't like me, you're not meant for me. Next,
Yep.
you know?
And now you have 150 nexts throughout this year that are paying you really well.
Yes, hallelujah. They are. They are.
Yeah. But you mentioned something about how you'd had a lot of traditional training in the past, and I know you've had a lot of traditional training. And when I say traditional training, guys, what I'm really talking about is kind of traditional one-on-one in-person voice lessons. And how long had you trained that way, Amy?
So, let's see. Since the age of 23.
Okay, so like 20 some odd years.
Yeah.
And yet you still had all these issues with your technique, with the tension, the tons of tension, and all these things that were holding you back despite all that training. And as you know, we don't work that way. So I'm curious, why were you willing to take the leap to train a different way? You know, people often doubt that they can get good results either working online or in a group instead of the old fashioned way, one on one in person. So can you speak to your experience with that?
Yes. I knew intuitively that I was missing something, that what I was currently doing was not working anymore. And it made me feel extremely concerned for the longevity of my career and mostly for my voice. Without a voice, I have no career. So I knew that what I was doing, not having consistent performances too, that was another thing. Like I'd had this incredible performance and I'm like, what did I do differently? Like, what did I do that made that so incredible? And I couldn't identify it or replicate it. So, not to say that my other shows sucked, but they weren't where I felt free. They weren't where I felt like something had changed, but I just couldn't identify it. But now with Arden, I'm able to replicate. I'm able to be consistent with the technique and the mindset, coupled with that. My big thing was having to prove something. That was a whole other thing that I had to really, ooh, that was a doozy. And there are times it still creeps up on me, and that makes me want to go back into the old habits of, okay, well, I need to push now. I need to, just let them have it because I want to be seen. I want to be heard. I'm not invisible, but that's not the purpose. That's not the purpose of why I do this. It's because it's
Mm-hmm.
a gift and I want to take it as far as God will let me.
Mm-hmm. And so, what do you think it was about training one on one, but in the context of a group? Right. So, like, I
Mhm.
think a lot of people don't quite understand what that means, right? It's not like you're not getting individual training, you are, but you're actually doing it in a group context several times a week in different iterations. And so, what do you think it was about that that actually allowed you to shift this and get rid of the tension, get rid of the strain? I mean, you had worked in one-on-one old-fashioned lessons forever.
Hmm.
And so what do you think for you, if you can speak to your experience working in one-on-one in the context of a group?
Well, it helped me. It did a lot of things. The first thing that comes to mind is that it helped me to build the muscles, I say, to mess up, mess up in front of a group and have
Hold
grace.
hold on a second. Crystal, be perfectly imperfect in front of group. That's what she's talking about. It's the same thing.
Yes.
Okay, continue.
Exactly. And to allow that to be like, okay, because, you know, it's hard for me to be vulnerable at times because of having to build this wall of protection, for a number of reasons. We all have our childhood stuff and all that, and
Yeah.
trauma from teachers. So to allow myself to be and to be vulnerable and to be like, okay, you mess up. Okay, so you are with people who have love for you, who are, proud of you, who are like, wow, she's sticking her neck out there. I'm learning so much from her, and vice versa.
Right.
When
And who are all going through the same process you are.
exactly, and the same thing would happen for me. Like someone would be working on a certain technique or whatever it was, a mindset thing that I'm like, wow, I was actually really struggling with that myself, and I got what I needed from that other person.
Mm-hmm.
So it works hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, wow.
Yeah, and I see Marie's asking in the chat.
Oh,
So just to speak to like at least our intensive program is that we cap it at about 15. We never have more than about 12 or 15 singers in the group at any given time because it's a lot of individual attention. And so you get the benefit of my individual coaching with you as well as the benefit of my individual coaching with everybody in there. So just like Amy was talking about, you're getting breakthroughs on things that never would have even come to light in the old-fashioned context of one-on-one training. So I'm curious, Amy, um, if you could, because you remember when you and I had a call before your program, and you had lots of circumstance going on. I mean, you were thinking that you might even be getting divorced. You had like zero money. You were unemployed. You were worried about your age. I mean, you had lots of circumstance going on. Um, as I'm sure, a lot of people in here think to themselves, God, I would love to train in this program. I would love to do this. But, and I know that like getting resourceful for finances is a thing for all of us, right? We have to make sure that we're being responsible not just to ourselves, our family, our financial things that we need to take care of, but also that we're being responsible to investing in things that actually make a difference for what we want to create that will come back to us. You guys, like, spending money is different than investing, right? You spend the money on a pair of Jimmy Choo's shoes, that money's not coming back to you. But you invest in a producer or the training program or going to an audition, that's going to come back to you, right? So I would just love if you would tell a little bit of your story, because I know that you really had to walk across a bridge of fire to like really stand in conviction to invest in yourself. So I'm wondering if you could speak to some of the things that really helped you do that and why you chose to do that, and remembering back to what your fears were.
wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, when I had my initial call with you, I was an emotional wreck. I really was. I My marriage was very rocky. My husband and I were not on the same page with so many things. And finances were like a big thing, about a big part of the stress that was causing a divide between us. And not just that, but feeling like a failure for where I was in my career, feeling like a failure because of being laid off, even though it wasn't my fault. I still personalized it. Um, just I felt like I was sinking into a dark abyss. And when I was on the phone with Arden, she asked me so many questions that were very thought provoking and moved me to tears, because there were things that didn't occur to me, or maybe I didn't want them to occur to me, because it would have to make me take a good look at me and what I'm doing and not doing. And it was very painful, but it was it was like all this stuck energy that I had inside me. And once, when I was on the call with her, we were on the phone for almost 2 hours. I knew that if I hung up with her, I would not have taken that leap and done the intensive. I literally was like, well, I need to talk to my husband about this, about the finances, blah, 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 blah. But what I did was I started being resourceful. I opened up the PayPal credit line. I opened up an Affirm credit line. And as I'm getting approved for these things, I decided, okay, well, that's done. Okay, I'm going to text my husband. I'm going to text him. He's going to freaking kill me. But I'm going to text him because I know if I hang up, I'm not going to do this. So that's exactly what happened. Oh boy, did that cause a whole shitstorm. Pardon my French, but I would do it again. I
Because
would.
now, tell, like, can you share about where you guys are now?
Oh yeah, he loves. He's like, oh my God, you have to be with Arden all the time. He's like, where was you? He was thrilled, that I'm speaking and being a part of other things that are going on. And he loves Arden. He's like, you're like a completely different person. Like, what
Yeah, and all of
happened?
the money stuff that he was so worried about, guess
Yeah.
who's bringing home the bacon now?
Whoop, whoop.
Exactly. You guys, I have never met a husband or a wife who was mad when their partner is doing what they love and being successful at it, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. It's
But
life changing.
you had to claim, you know, that you were going to be okay, that this is that you being the highest and best version of you, doing what you love and living your gifts is what's good for him.
Yes, and choosing me, choosing myself for the first time in my life. I always allowed other relationships to dictate how far I would get with my singing because unfortunately, the men that I had dated in the past were extremely threatened by my career and my talent, which consciously and even unconsciously, I held myself back. And not to say that my husband would have done that, I was still repeating that cycle myself. And I had to make that decision. No, I am choosing myself and I'm choosing this career and I'm doing this. And as soon as I did that, it was literally like the floodgates open. All this energy that I felt was stuck inside of me started moving and flowing. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, Arden.
And you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And
Yeah.
so this is a co-creation, guys. Like I'm giving you guys all of these tools. When if you work just in the context of this workshop, or if you come into the intensive program like Amy did or like Joseph did, I'm giving you the tools. But at the end of the day, you got to show up. Give 110%. Playful out. Be coachable, be willing to fail, be open, be willing to do new things differently. And so when you show up that way, when Amy showed up that way, now all of a sudden you got the energy coming from both sides, right? So thank you so much, Amy, for sharing this. Is there anything else that you want to add?
Oh gosh. Uh, don't do your best to not allow anything or anyone outside you and that inner critic inside you to stop you from doing what you're called to do, to
Mm-hmm.
stop you doing. It would make me sad, very sad, for you all to look back, 10, even 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now and think, oh God, I wish that I had done that. I wish that I had
I
taken
think I
that.
did it in an emergency. Yeah.
Hey, Ash, can you make sure everybody's muted? Okay. Sorry, keep going, Amy.
So I want, what I live by is I want as little to no regret as possible in my life. So no matter what age, do what you're called to do. If it's been put in your heart for you to be a professional singer, do it and go full force.
Mm-hmm.
I want that for you.
And I'm going to go a step further to say, if it's in your heart, but you recognize that there are some things that are making you feel less confident, less ready, or whatever, then do whatever you need to do to get the best possible help that you can to achieve it. Whether it's working with us, whether it's working with somebody else, like this, you guys, it's your life. Nobody's got a gun to your head telling you that you got to go be a performer. But if that's your passion, if your voice is what you're called to do and it's not working the way you need it to, then do whatever you need to do to fix it so that you can get out there and live the life you were supposed to live. And don't let anything stop you. That's what Amy did. That's what Joseph did. And that's what I'm here to help you do if you want our help to do that. So, Amy, thanks so much for spending this time with us.
You're welcome.
I hope that you guys today really got everything that you wanted out of this session today in terms of understanding how the mind and the energy works in the moment of performance. And so I just want to take a moment to really share with you guys a little bit more about the opportunity to come train with us in the intensive if you want. Now, look, if you feel like you got what you needed from these sessions and you are ready to go out into the world with your new technique tools, with your new mindset tools, and crush it at that higher level of success, performing, auditioning, recording, and you're totally confident moving forward from this point, no need to stick with us any further. I appreciate you. I value your time. And if you don't need anything more, no need to stay on the session. Go rock your tools, okay? But if you feel like, although you're super fired up about the shifts that you're experiencing and the information and the insights that you've gained from what we've done so far, and you feel like you really could use some additional support, like you said, like Amy said, you need somebody to light a firecracker under your ass, and you don't want to have to wing it on your own anymore. Figure it out the hard way. If you want that blueprint to follow, if you want a proven system that is already vetted for you to get from A to Z with your voice, and you want to completely skip over all that trial and error, what method, what technique, I don't know, there's so much confusing information. If you want to skip over all the guesswork, all the super expensive testing that I had to do to try all these different modalities to figure out what works, what doesn't work, you guys, I can just give it to you and not just walk you through that foundational method, but also show you how to implement it in your body, give you the support, the accessibility, the reinforcement of eyes and ears on you regularly to make sure that you're implementing these strategies correctly in your body. So no more second guessing or continuing to practice the bad habits without realizing it, and be able to mirror back to you all the ways you're getting in your own way that you don't even see, just like I did with Crystal today. And so if you feel like you really could use some additional support, then stick with me here because I really want to talk you through how we get faster results. And it's the opportunity that I can really help you to take all the work that we just started together in these 4 days here and bring it full circle and get those results that you want and that you need in your singing long term. So you can work the tools on your own, or I want to invite you to consider option number 2, which is work with us in our intensive program. And the intensive, you guys, it's our flagship all-in-one training program. It's holistic. You get the 360 training foundation for technical mastery, for finding and unleashing your unique artistry, and a blueprint for mastering your mindset. These are the pillars that we build with you so that you can soar to the top of your potential and do what you want with your voice, land those singing opportunities, find the success that you haven't had yet. And so here's specifically how we deliver that. So you have me working with you individually and my team working with you individually, looking at your technique every which way and coaching that within the context of your mindset and your artistry. And we do it in 3 group master classes a week. And like I was saying before when I was answering Marie's question, we keep the group nice and small. We never have more than like 15 singers in any class because it's a lot of individual attention. Like you're not just getting my individual coaching with you, you're getting the benefit of the individual coaching with every other singer in that group. So just like when you were watching Crystal today and you're watching Crystal come up against that edge and then have a breakthrough, and you're watching her and you're going, holy shit, I do that. And I didn't even realize I was doing that. And now you've had a breakthrough on something that never would have come to light in the old-fashioned one-on-one way of in-person training. And then you get up and sing and you have a breakthrough, and your fellows are having breakthroughs watching you. And so it's a huge reason why our singers get the results that they do in such a short period of time. Like, if you want to keep getting the same results you've always gotten, keep training in the same way. That is your right. I'm not going to argue with you about that. But I will say that if you realize that you're not where you want to be with stuff, despite all of that, then wouldn't it make sense to put the full force of your time and your effort and your investment into something different that is proven? And so to that end, you're going to have your own dedicated mindset coach who will work one-on-one with you to help you get under the hood and understand all the thinking going on behind the singing, and also to support you if you get stuck or overwhelmed or stressed or any random thing comes up that you need support on. We go above and beyond what any other training program is willing to do. And that's why we get the results that you're seeing. When you saw Siri posting in the group the other day, hearing Amy, you're even seeing Crystal, because everything that we're doing here is exactly what we do in the program, except more, deeper, longer. Okay? And that's why our singers get the results that they do, which I absolutely stand behind. So as far as how we do this, to build you this foundation and to get you everything you need, we'll be working together for 4 months. So it's an initial 4-month commitment. And here's what's cool, is that everything is really customized to you. So once you enroll, the first thing that happens is you're connected with your one-on-one mindset coach to work with you. And you have an insight call with her. And on that call, she maps out your exact game plan for the next 4 months. So exactly how to go through the program, use all the support to get the most out of it. The parts that we'll be doing with you, the parts that you are responsible for, and everything else. So we leave no stone unturned. We really make sure you have everything you need to get the outcome. So she'll walk you through all of that on your welcome call. Make sure you have what you need. You get access to the first week of trainings right away. So we have a members area where there are technique trainings, mindset trainings. Each module has those kinds of trainings in it, and a new module opens up every week, and you get a login. And so every week you're getting new technique trainings, new mindset trainings, and then you start coming to studio class and coming to mindset call. And you're working on in class, eyes and ears on you with me and with my team, to make sure that you're actually implementing all those things that you're getting training on in the modules correctly in your body, in the moment of singing, in your mindset, in the right way, just like we're doing here. And then your mindset coach will set up your one-on-ones, answer your questions, make sure you have everything you need, and you're going to realize so quickly how supported you are. That this is exactly what you need. It's exactly what you've been looking for, because you're not going to have to wonder anymore what you don't know that you don't know. And that's why our singers get better results in a shorter period of time than any other coaching method. So as I mentioned before, normal retail tuition is $9,000. But I'm giving you guys a huge discount, a $2,000 discount off the tuition from now until Sunday night as a bonus discount for everyone in this workshop. So it's just $7,000 until midnight on Sunday night. And we have lots of different payment plans. I'll put up the screen so you can see again, just so that you're super clear. We can do 4 monthly payments. So it's just $18.97 a month. You can do one payment of $7,000, which saves over $600. You can do PayPal financing, which allows you to have a longer financing period, which could be 12 months, 24 months, 34 months. Also, guys, if you want to get creative with some other kind of financing like Amy did, she did PayPal, and she also did Stripe financing, or Affirm financing. I've had singers go and get financing through SoFi. I've had singers get a 0% interest credit card where it gives them no interest for 12 months, 18 months. There's always a way for the committed, guys. Always. Like Amy was saying, the decision to change comes first, and then everything falls into place. So if you want more details about the intensive training program, here's the link. Ashley just put it into the chat with all the payment options. There's a couple other links that I'll put into the chat for you here if you know you want to do the program, but you want to get to a little more creative financing. Because I helped a singer with this a couple days ago, a new singer who came into the program. I'm putting into the chat a link to NerdWallet. So NerdWallet they're like a nonprofit website. They rate banks and credit cards and stuff like that. And right now they will tell you all of the best 0% interest credit card offers going. Right now there's a Wells Fargo 21 months no interest on all new purchases. So if you qualify for that, put the $7,000, 21 months no interest. You have 21 months to pay that off without any interest. That's literally free money for 21 months. And so if it's me, and I qualify for that, that's what I'm doing. And if you break up 7K over 21 months, it ends up being like, I don't know, 300 something a month, right? That's like insane, right? So here, this is, I'm putting this into the chat so that you guys can investigate this. Because, like, when I say it's just about being resourceful, seriously, like, I'm going to invite you to borrow my belief, which is it's just money. I can always go find more. Because the purpose of this is so that you can get out there and do what you love. And trust me, investing 7K now to be able to do what you love for the rest of your life, whether it's professionally, whether it's in worship or whatever, it's pennies on the dollar than having to sit there in regret, in feeling shame, in wondering what if, and in all the ways that that interferes with the other aspects of your life. So if you want in, you can either use the link that Ash just put in the chat to start your enrollment. If you have some questions for me and you'd like to book a short discovery call with me to find out if the program is a good fit for you, if you have some questions to, like, let's talk it out, let's see if it's going to meet your goals, your specific singing goals, then book a call with me. Ash just put that link in the chat. It's a 15-minute discovery call. This is not a coaching call. So this is not a call where you can get on with me and ask me about the pelvic floor or how we do the smile and the smell of the brownies, okay? This is specifically to discuss if the intensive is going to be a good fit for you, to talk about your specific goals. If it's going to work for you, then let's hop on a quick call so we can just answer any lingering questions that you might have. So you have tons of resources. Tomorrow, guys, we're going to talk about finding your own unique artistry in a song and learn how to do that so that you can be more than a good parrot. Nathaniel, this is for you. Okay. And I just realized that I never put the homework in the chat for you guys. So let's do that. Hang on. Okay. So this is a homework link to the energy exploration cards. So what you're going to see when you open them up, let me share my screen, is this is what you're going to see. You're going to see a bunch of different phrases. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut along the lines and you're going to create these little, they're like not exactly cards, they're like little strips, we'll call them. So the one that we were working with was Crystal, I get to be perfectly imperfect, okay? So all of these are inquiries for you to shift your energy around what you're doing. And you're going to fold them up, and then you're going to pick one. You're going to open it up. I choose courage over comfort. Okay? Ask yourself, how would I sing this if I choose courage over comfort? Just like I asked Crystal, how would I sing this if I got to be perfectly imperfect? And then you're going to do your vocal exercises with choosing courage over comfort. You're going to, let's say you have an audition in the next few days. You're going to do your audition with, how would I do this audition if I chose courage over comfort? Let's find out. Okay, so these energy exploration cards are to help you to shift and reframe the mindset and the energy in the moment. Okay, so that's the link for the homework tonight, is to explore your energy exploration cards. Pick one or two and do some singing with them, do some exercises with them, see what happens as you do that. Tomorrow, we're doing making a song your own exercise, finding your unique sound, showing you how to access your authenticity, your unique sound to make audiences really want to keep coming back for more because you're unlike anybody else. So that's tomorrow. Don't miss it. If you want to apply for the scholarship, do that. Get it in by midnight. We'll be announcing that tomorrow too. Play with your energy exploration cards. And again, if you want to learn more of the details about the intensive program or if you want to enroll, here's the link for that again that I'll put in the chat for you guys. Don't hesitate to reach out through DM or email. Otherwise, just get on my phone. Just get on my schedule. And if training with us feels aligned with you, then get in before Sunday, before the 2K workshop discount expires. Okay, guys? All right. Sending you so much love. Thank you to everyone for showing up in such awesome energy, for being there to support your fellows, for being willing to be open to new ideas. And I will see you in tomorrow's session. Bye, everybody.